September 7th, 2020. The day I started my YouTube channel. With some good videos made, and some bad, a year was able to go by just like that. I think as a celebration of this 1 year anniversary on YouTube, I should rank all of my videos just to see which ones are the best and which ones are the worst. I do have a confession to make first. I've been holding on to this guilt for quite some time, and I just have to let it go at this point. I had no other choice but to make a Twitter account. I know. I'm just as shocked as you are, but with this in mind, I have no other choice but to continue with the rest of the video. For some reason, when you go onto TierMaker, you have to have a Twitter account to log in. I really didn't want to make one, but I thought I could just make it and then delete it once I was done with the rest of the video. With the username of TierMakerUser1, I was ready to venture forth with the first year anniversary video. Before we start, I do want to thank each and every one of you for spending a bit of your day to watch me play some games or to just chat. I want to make more videos for years to come, and I hope you'll join me in this adventure. Alright, let's get the video started. The way I'm going to categorize each video is by the thumbnail, the process of editing it, and the content itself. Once in a while, I might talk about the amount of views, but it's not really a substantial aspect of what video goes where. I also will not be including the I Can Explain video because that was just a small announcement video, or the VODs because no editing really had to go into them. And with all of this, I think it's only right to start off this tier list with the chicken suit advantage. Though it is my first video, it holds a special place in my heart. However, I didn't have a proper editing software for this video. I had to use the Twitch highlights / editing service that they have, and guess what? It sucks. For some reason, every cut was 1 second shorter than what I wanted it to be, but it still made for an okay video. On the other hand, the video just had moments where it froze for a few seconds and then it would just continue with the rest of the video. I don't know really how that happened, and I honestly didn't even realize it until a month after I had already posted the video. However, Aaron, Gabe, and Scott joined me, and it was still a blast to have them, and we had some very good moments. The content itself wasn't bad. I was able to win 3 times, and that is what won me the chicken suit advantage. The thumbnail as well was the first time that I tried making a thumbnail. Now that I look at it again, I shouldn't have added the random black lines in the background because it just distracts from my character and the other characters running to the crown. But overall, I would give this video a solid C. Using my 5 brain cells in Among Us. Among Us has made a presence on my channel many times. Maybe a bit too many, but that's neither here nor there. Instead of using the Twitch highlights service, I actually found a proper editing software that cut my clips up at the right moments. Though I didn't realize until exporting the video that there was a big watermark. However, editing the video was still not that bad, and the video itself, the content, was pretty good, and it was with my very good friends who always bring in the funny moments. There were actually a few moments where I was surprised that I survived, and also when I got like imposter 3 times in a row, like at the very beginning. However, I think my favorite part was when I was just following Danny around and I didn't realize that he was the imposter the entire time and we were able to win. The thumbnail definitely looks appealing, but I usually like putting out a thumbnail that I spent a while on rather than just a few minutes. With all of this in mind though, I will put this video at a solid B. Something seems off in this game of Among Us. It is another Among Us video, but this one is one of my absolute favorite videos. Not only was it just chaotic the entire time, but I added music to it to just make it a bit more entertaining, and compared to the last video, this one was a bit more difficult to edit just because I added subtitles all over the place, and that usually is a very monotonous task. As I stated earlier, this video is one of my favorite videos. I think our chaotic energy changed up the game of Among Us, especially the round where we were all Luke. It still amazes me looking back at that one part where all the Lukes tied the vote 2 to 2 to 2. Like, you can't write that. The thumbnail was great on this video though. Though it was just a screenshot, I don't think I could have drawn a thumbnail to emphasize how chaotic this video was. This is definitely an S tier video. Valorant, but I died so I played Shell Shocked, and then died again so I played Among Us. At the time, this video did not perform too well. It was my first time doing a solo video, solo commentary, whatever you want to call it, except for the Among Us portion. I honestly really liked the concept of the video, and I do want to try it again in the future, but there was just something off about this one. Editing the video though wasn't really too bad because I had used a different software that did not have a watermark. In fact, I think I was able to do a little bit better with editing and just tried adding stuff to make it more goofy. I honestly preferred the Valorant and Shell Shock portions because it just wasn't Among Us. That's not to say that the Among Us parts were not enjoyable, because if I died in the game then I had to leave, but the Valorant and Shell Shock parts were just something unique to the channel, and it wasn't something I had already made videos of before. I don't really think this video was too entertaining though, except for maybe when I said that I'm good at Valorant and then just immediately died. With the thumbnail, I don't even know if it looks appealing, but again, it's just one of those thumbnails that required little to no effort, so for the most part, I would put this video as a D. Among Us, but my IQ is irrelevant. I just want to say that to make this video, I had to look back at all of the videos just to get a refresher of what each one was about, and at this point, I was a little tired of looking at Among Us content. However, this video was still pretty good. I really liked the intro with the futuristic sound effects, and then the screaming, laughing, and all that chaotic energy that my friends and I continued to have. I honestly enjoyed editing this video as well, especially because I tried using bits of Aaron's stream to mix with mine to get more perspective on the game. Subtitling was still a pain in the butt, but I have had worse situations. The games were not like the game of all Lukes, but they were still intense not only as an imposter, but as a crewmate as well. This video was the one that Aaron actually got a bot to control our voices, meaning that it would allow us to talk to ghosts when we were dead in the non-voting section without having to manually go in Discord and do it ourselves. The thumbnail was finally a drawing instead of a screenshot. I didn't realize until like a month after making the video that the right hand was facing the wrong way on Aaron's character, and also on Aaron's child as well. I tried mimicking the bathroom on Polus as well, and it doesn't look too bad, but there are just a few things that probably need to be changed. However, I did like Gabe's character in the background just being shocked that I was coming out of the vent. Overall, I would give this video a solid A. Being killed by kindness in Five Nights at Freddy's. I have never really played a horror game before, but it was scary both during and after I played the game. Editing this video was really not a good time. There were a crap ton of subtitles that needed to be done, it was longer than what I wanted it to be, and after finishing the video, I closed out of it one night from the editing software, and the next morning, all of my progress was just deleted, so I had to start from scratch. The content itself, though, was still decent. It is a horror game after all, and if you see someone that's never played a horror game try playing a horror game, it'll probably make you laugh. Unfortunately, I'm not counting the thumbnail on this video, just because I didn't make it, my friend Gabe did. I'm only really counting the work that I put into it. However, I still think Gabe's thumbnail is S tier, and I appreciate him for doing it. If I were to count his thumbnail, I'd probably put the video as a C, but since I'm not going to do that, I am putting this video as an F. Persistence. This video is very odd in my mind. It didn't really feel like a video I was passionate about, but rather a video that I just made for the sake of making one. However, looking back at it, it actually had some funny moments. The editing of the video is pretty simple, but I kind of think that's from the lack of passion that I already mentioned. I like when I reflected on my fight with the Gru's mother, or when I actually successfully beat the brooding Moloch and the stream crashed so you couldn't actually see that I did. The thumbnail as well was just another screenshot, however I think it was funny in a way because a lot of the video was spent fighting the brooding Moloch. I think at the moment though, I am gonna leave this video at a D. Now, what I'm about to say might actually catch people by surprise. Though this video was my most viewed video, I didn't like it that much. And the real reason was just because of how long it took me to edit. I tried making transitions from people speaking that it took quite a long time, especially if there was already text on the screen, and if I was moving it then I would have to keep the text at the same position, and just over time I slowly lost that passion, or that fire you could call it. However, the video itself was still good, the content itself. It was with a new group of people who all made the stream and the video really fun. I especially loved the part where we talked about inviting Ninja to the stream. I laugh at that every time.
You say to me, shit!
Oh, I guess he doesn't want to.
The thumbnail definitely could have been improved a lot. I think I could have used a better screenshot than the one in the thumbnail, but nonetheless it did get the irony across. With all of this in mind, I will give this video a C. A Strange Worms Experience. This might actually be my favorite video. It might have taken me a long time to edit, but it was worth it 100%. The intro already got me excited for the video with all the no context clips. The part where we talked about sheep made me laugh every single time I watched it, and the La Cremosa part of missing the grenade, all of it was just enjoyable. As for the thumbnail, it wasn't my best work, but I still really like it. I think the only thing I would change is I would remove the cloud that says worms with friends, because I think it just distracts from the rest of the thumbnail. All in all though, this video is absolutely an S above the something seems off in this game of Among Us video. Exploring a new world in Forager. Unlike the last video, there were a lot of things that I did not like about this one. In my opinion, I think the thumbnail was just lazy and it wasn't all entertaining or really funny. It wasn't that bad to edit, but again, I feel like it's just from that lack of passion. However, there were like a few funny moments, I guess. I think my favorite part was when I read the calciferous box wrong and was blind enough to not be able to make a bow. However, not everything is going to come out the way you want it to, and for that reason I'm gonna put this video in F. The unluckiest run of hardcore Minecraft you will ever see. This was the start of something beautiful. In some way or another, this video helped contribute to Aaron's Minecraft Hardcore mini-series. Now, we could have downloaded a proximity chat mod like we did with the series, but I didn't think that far in advance. However, I think one of my favorite parts of the video was the 100% fact that I mined diamonds within 5 blocks of mining, and there is absolutely no way of fact-checking that. I also liked the numerous non-pearl trades we got, and the one pearl trade I got only gave me 2 ender pearls. It just showed that we were extremely unlucky. As for the thumbnail, this is actually one of my favorite thumbnails. I did not expect to be able to do those proportions of my character or the hoglin correctly. I think if I had to change one thing, it would be to remove the blue squiggly line in the center and the background that just distracts from everything else. With all of this in mind though, this video is a B tier video. Feeling nothing but pain in Junimo Cart. This video took a very peaceful, quiet game and made it hellish. At first, it started with peaceful storytelling with chat, and then slowly I formed into something I had never seen before. Something filled with rage, something filled with persistence. Wait, okay, that was just persistence though. The video as a whole was great. It definitely was all over the place, and then sometimes I felt like I should have deleted a certain part, though it was still all really good. I think though that my favorite part is when I was saying I was going to be a sweaty tryhard and then built up to the moment with all the quotes throughout the video and then just lost one of my lives. The thumbnail was pretty good as well. I really liked the background of the slime cave. However, I would definitely need to fix this up to change the proportions of my character because it just doesn't really look all that good. I'd say though that this video is a B. It was all worth it for this, Junimo Kart Part 2. A lot of people could make the argument that the sequel to something is worse than the original. And they'd be right. The main issue with this video was the audio. I think it was just too quiet compared to the first Junimo Kart video. I also realized that I go on a pattern of going on and off between using music and not using music in videos, and I think for something that has multiple parts, there should be some consistency, and that was lacking. That's not to say though that there weren't good moments in the video. I liked the part where I searched on Twitch if there were other people playing Junimo Kart, and there in fact was. The thumbnail was pretty simple in retrospect. I think I've realized a trend in my thumbnails that I just don't show the lower half of a character's body because I can't draw legs properly. Overall though, I would say this video is a C above the Dream Stand video. The Long Journey Home. I'm not one for doing videos based off of lore, but mainly funny moments. However, this video brought a nice balance of both. I think talking while doing the transitions sped up the video a bit faster rather than just extending the video longer than it needed it to be. The music was really set in the mood of each situation, and overall it was just really fun to edit. There were a lot of great moments in here that honestly I can't choose which is my favorite, so you have to watch it yourself if you haven't already. Now, I know what you're thinking. Luke, your video doesn't have a drawing as the thumbnail, so aren't you going to give it a really bad grade because of it? Well, actually no, because I had to make my thumbnail this way to stay consistent with not only Aaron's mini-series, but also Alex's bonus video as well. With all of this in mind though, this video is a definite S-tier video. Gambling my savings away in the coin game. I'll be honest, I really don't think the coin game is that interesting of a game, and because of that, I don't think this is that interesting of a video. I mean, the small arcade games were kind of cool because it reminded me of holding a handful of quarters ready to play all of the arcade games, but it still wasn't that thrilling. However, something about it was calming, and it did bring some uniqueness to the channel because it's just a different game I've never really played before. I think one of my favorite parts though was me getting jump scared by a truck when I'm sure it really is just not that scary. That goes to show that I do not play any type of like horror game that often because I will jump at something that's just not even that scary. The thumbnail actually took me quite some time, especially the lotto ticket machine, and it doesn't even look all that good. I honestly would just make a new thumbnail for this video just because there are a lot of aspects to it that I don't really like. I would give this video a solid D. The modded Dumb Ways to Die. I get mixed emotions whenever I think about this video. The content itself was good, but there were just a lot of issues at hand. The most obvious one is the laggy gameplay, and after asking all of my friends if their games lagged, apparently I was the only one. Also, the audio was pretty wacky because everyone was pretty loud except for Ben and I. However, the content of the video did distract a bit from the laggy gameplay. I think my favorite part was when Rhys and I died together twice, but the mod was so chaotic that no one really knew. Another one of my favorite parts was when I just said your mom and everyone decided to vote for me. The thumbnail for this video was actually pretty good in my opinion. There are a lot of colors in the image, mainly from the jester hat. I don't really have anything that I would want to change with the photo, and this time I did the hands correctly. I think this video is a solid A. I made my own challenge to an already challenging game. As a stream, this is a good idea, but as a video, it was hard to get 4 hours of an entire stream into a 15-minute video. I don't really think this video is a funny moments video per se, but rather that there are a few funny moments in it, if that makes sense at all. I think the only thing that was actually that funny was Aaron's sea shanty, but even then I feel like I butchered it by just using portions of it throughout the video rather than all of it in one go. However, I am really proud of the thumbnail. It's simple enough with a buff mugman and the red background from the starting screen of the game. I really have no issues with this thumbnail. I guess if I were to change something, it might be the background a little bit to make the brighter lines more bright to contrast with the darker lines, but I'm still really happy with this thumbnail. I would give this video a solid C above Dreamstan. What the knights really had to go through to get to the round table. This is one of the only times that I will bring up views in this video, but I was actually kind of surprised that this one did not do too well. However, looking back at it, I can get an idea of why that might have been the case. Back when my computer had a multitude of issues, with laggy gameplay being one of them for the first 4 minutes of the video. I also think some parts of the video were just a bit too loud, so I either should have turned down the volume or made a headphone warning. However, I still think it was funny. I liked trying to change the word die to the word one, which totally worked if you asked me. I liked the making the omelet story, and I liked the silly salmon zone. Though the silly salmon zone was cool, as a thumbnail it doesn't work that well. I think I remember being really lazy with this one because I tried drawing a thumbnail and I just trashed the idea because it didn't look that good. For these reasons, this video is a B. Playing Fall Guys for 6 hours was a bad idea. I don't know if anybody knows this, but at this point on my channel, I had to use a different editing software because the one I used beforehand just stopped working normally all of a sudden. I really don't know why. But I'm actually glad it happened because I was able to do a bit more in this video and with the Doki Doki videos that I wasn't able to do in previous ones. I think as a video though, you can't really tell it's a challenge other than the fact that I played Fall Guys for 6 hours. If you didn't already know, the goal of this challenge was to get 3 wins, and once I did I could end the stream, which is why it took 6 hours, and why the video is split by each hour. With that in mind, I don't even think splitting it like that was that necessary. I think even if I cut them out, the point would have gone across that it took 6 hours. In my eyes, there weren't a lot of funny moments because it was practically another challenge video. However, I did like when I said, "Seesaw. Seesaw? I hardly know her." Someone's gonna laugh. The thumbnail, on the other hand, really emphasized just how hard the challenge was. One of my friends gave me the idea to blur the background just a bit so that you could see the chicken suit a little bit more, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. However, I need to take everything into consideration, and I would give this video a C. I have never played this game before. Doki Doki Literature Club Part 1. I just want to start off by saying that I cannot thank Aaron enough for how fun he made this video and the stream. I not only laughed so much during the stream, but as I was editing the video as well. Editing the video wasn't the easiest, but it wasn't the hardest either. Unfortunately though, just like the FNAF video, all of my progress was deleted at some point when I was almost done and I had to start from scratch. Though, with this video, it was easier to put it back together and it was still all funny, so I didn't really mind. I tried to make the text pop out whenever Aaron or I spoke, but a lot of the time, nothing else really needed to be edited because it was just funny the way it was. However, cutting up the video was very difficult because I tried putting all the moments into the video that I thought were funny or contributed to the lore of the game closer to the end of the video, and it ended up being 40 minutes of footage, so that left me with a lot of work. I think my favorite part of the video though, which I laugh at every time I watch it, is this.
It's great to see you again, Luke.
Monica smiles sweetly.
Keep reading, dude. What?
Fucking, I can't mimic it because like I don't have the voice.
What?
Now, I cannot take credit for this thumbnail because it was the masterful work of Aaron. I still will talk about how much I love this thumbnail though, and I'm genuinely so proud of him with anything he makes, and the same goes for Gabe. I especially love that FNAF thumbnail, and I'm excited to see what other stuff they have to make in the future. Though the editing wasn't the easiest, it was completely worth it, which is why I'm making this video an A tier. What is going on, Doki Doki Literature Club Part 2? Every masterpiece has its weird sequel, except for Aaron's thumbnail, which is absolutely marvelous, and it didn't give me the creeps at all, especially not the eyes. This video was a bit more about the lore of the game rather than funny moments, but there were still many moments to laugh at. Unfortunately, editing this video was not a cakewalk. Like the last Doki Doki video, I tried getting in as many clips as I could, and you would think I would have learned from that mistake, but I didn't, and this time I had an hour of footage left, so that even gave me more work to do. I was still fine editing it, but after looking at hours of Doki Doki footage, my mind just started to melt. However, my favorite parts were when I got jump scared at literally anything that wasn't even scary and Aaron just did not flinch. Not to toot my own horn, but I really like the ending I made, because it is true. I am glad that you guys have watched my content for a year now, and I cannot wait to make more. This thumbnail, again, was not made by me, but after he showed it to me, I couldn't help but laugh because of how goofy my character looks. I think this video is a B above the Junimo Kart video. Before we end the video, there are a few last minute changes I want to make. To start off, I want to move the Chicken Suit Advantage above Junimo Kart Part 1, and I would like to move Alt F4 down to C. I would like to move Doki Doki Part 1 above Dumb Ways to Die, and I will probably move Doki Doki Part 2 to the highest B. And that is our tier list of this past year's videos. Phew! We finally went through all of the videos. I'm really happy with how this channel is going so far, and I've had experiences that I did not expect to have, and I met people that I did not expect to become really good friends with. If you take anything away from this video, it's that if you're really passionate about something, go for it. I never expected that I would love editing or making thumbnails, even though I'm not good at it. I want to get good at it, and I want to keep making content for you guys to laugh at, and just to clear your heads from all of the stresses of the world. Hey wait, before we go, I think we should probably rank this video. It's gonna be an F, so stop watching this dang video already.